What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Before we start, please, you know what to do. You know the drill. Come on, guys. I shouldn't be telling you to do this. If you're not part of the group, please feel free to join us and be part of this community. Let's build this together so we can share knowledge. So today we're going to talk about something very, very interesting. It's a speech made by the president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. So we're going to listen to President Museveni on his speech. Let's go.
In my struggles, I have seen God's intervention. I have seen it myself. I'll give you one example. In January 1973, we were here underground fighting Amin. And we had put our group in the forest in Mayuge. And Valerian Raheru, Martin Mwekassa, and myself were in a car, our Volkswagen 1600, driving from Kampala to join our group in Mayuge Forest, Titiarera Forest. It was around 7, it was getting a bit dark. We didn't know that Amin had got information about us and had attacked our camp. We didn't know because there was no communication at that time. So I was the one driving. We passed through Jinja, Magamaga. Then at that junction, the new road now, Musita, going to Mayuge, we turned. I was the one driving. Then when we had driven some distance, we found a truck, a lorry parked on our side of the road. But then an army, a lorry which turned out to be army was also coming from the other side. So because we wanted to pass, we stopped. I stopped the car behind the lorry. When the army truck came, instead of continuing, they stopped. They said, "You people, who are you?" We said, we are going somewhere, Karuba, some place. Going to Karuba. The fellow, I think there were 2 or 3 soldiers. I think they had dropped soldiers and they were coming back, but they were armed. So they thought for a moment as if they wanted to continue, but then one of them got out. So you people, get out of the car. Now, Raheru was sitting here. Me, I was the one driving. This fellow was standing on my window now. As I was still opening the door, Raheru shot him from here. Shot him, he fell down. Said, "Mama, mama, mama." Then I silenced him with a pistol. Now, the other soldier, maybe 1 or 2, apparently they ran and hid under the vehicle. So after killing this one, we were struggling to turn the lorry, our vehicle, in a squeeze. The other people were hiding below the vehicle. They could have shot us, all of us. So you wonder why, you can see here there was something else. Yes, we did our part, but there was a part which was totally out of our control. These fellows just panicked. I think they feared. That's why they didn't shoot, because they had their guns, so why did they not? So I know God, I have seen God intervening in my own thing. On the issue of dying, I would have to harmonize with the bishops. we need to fine-tune our message. You know, I was a very active member of the Scripture Union in the 1960s. But I disagreed with the Scripture Union. In 1965, at Mwiri, we had to say, please, Mugira Mundeka. Because some of their messages, I thought bishops, I thought this matter, I don't know how it was resolved in your church doctrine, because there used to be a very serious debate between what they were calling predestination. Do you remember that? Predestination and individual responsibility. I don't remember the other one. I've not checked with the church recently, so. Even when Mama sometimes is watching these Americans, there are some people there, Margaret and another one. They sort of say, God planned for you this, whatever you do. No, but for them, I think they put it a bit better. They say, God planned well for you. I think that's a bit better. God planned well for you. It is you to spoil your opportunities. There's a lady called Joyce Meyer, and another boy called something. They always talk like that God predestined. I think theirs is a bit all right, because they say, God predestined you for good things. It is you to spoil them. I think this is a bit better. But then, this idea of the predestination, when I go to the barrios, these days I don't go so much to the barrios. When you go there, when we come from the bush, they go there. God has called him. God has called him. God has called him. God has called her. But why does God like to call Africans? Why doesn't he call Japanese? Why should the Japanese leave Bishop Onesmo? The Japanese leave what you are talking about. When we came from the bush, God was calling you at 43. Ranga Mweta. Why does he call these Africans so early? What is the problem? So we put in place some health measures, and you can see now the average life expectancy is now 65. So why is God no longer calling the ones of 45, the ones of this? Now, the Japanese, the life expectancy of Japanese is 79 now. To leave everything, to say whatever bad thing happens, it is because of God, I also don't agree. For instance, in the case of Aronda, I didn't know that he had some medical issue to do with which I didn't know, to do for some time, that he had a medical problem to do with the heart. Then he went to this long distance to South Korea, where there was a big conflict. Then he started feeling unwell in South Korea. Then he tried to go to hospital there. Actually, we should blame those South Koreans. He tried to go to hospital there. They said, no, you don't have insurance here. How can a Ugandan have insurance in South Korea? So he went on the plane when he was already suffering. So therefore, I really think that in our messaging, we should also emphasize the question of, for instance, in this case, even this Sarah, apparently she had a medical something, and she was going to travel to the same South Korea conference where Aranda died coming from. So we were lucky that she died in her car instead of going to die on the plane. But why travel? Why do you go into things when you... So for me here, I think, I insist, you do your part, God will do his. As far as health is concerned. But I want to thank again the CDF and the Minister of Defense, because dying, we are all going to die. The question is when. When, if I have done my part, the Wanyankore have very good words. They call them octasia, especially for the king. When you die, they say yatasia. He was looking after cows. He has now brought the cows home. That is for the kings. What the Africans didn't like, what they feared most, was Okfabu Treche, and Treche. He died childless. That was the real Gehenna for the Wanyankore. But if I die and I leave my children who have their children, but me, I have gone to heaven. So the question is, what you do when you are here? And we are all giving testimony that in the short time Aranda was here, he did a lot. He was already a CDF of our whole army. He was now a minister. And all that was not because of anything, but because of his individual merit, his individual contribution.